So here is Scandal. It's going to be a 3-year-old registered AQHA gelding. This is going to be ride number 12 for him. Goal for this stage is going to be just get on and ride. So there's going to be no warm up, no flexion, all that stuff. We're just going to get on the horse and then begin his warm up and process under saddle. So anyway, here we go. So to this point, I've done a lot of just getting on and doing flexion. But at this point, I'm starting to get to the accountability phase where I want to just give him the opportunity to stand and then realize that he's going to be put to work if he starts moving. So I'll even start the testing. I'll start to wiggle the reins here in a minute, and then I'll start flapping my legs. And maybe he'll move, maybe he won't. If he sits still, then he will just get to pass the test and kind of just get to sit there a little bit longer. But if he fails the test, then we're going to go right into flexion and putting more work into it. So expectation would be that I can wiggle the reins and flap my feet until he hears a cluck, and that will be the signal to go. So anyway, just getting on these colts. This is day number 12, and we're just getting to the point where we want to go just get on. No more of this crutch of warm-ups, round pins, lungings, flexion on the ground, disengaging the hind quarter, or yielding the front feet, all that stuff. We got to have accountability for these guys. So this is ride number 12. Usually the goal is somewhere between 10 and 15, so I think we're on task for that. But then we'll start wiggling the reins. You should know just to stay here. And then with that, I'm going to start wiggling my feet here in a minute, just kind of start flapping. And so I'm doing pretty good. We're bumping them with the stirrups on both sides. Still flapping my feet. So I did not ask him to go. I'm waiting for him to commit. Now he's committed. So then we'll just do a flexion. We'll usually flex just a little bit slower than that. And we don't want to just jerk him in frustration, but we want to get a little bit of a quicker, snappier result when we're trying to show him, hey, I did not ask for that. So he's super soft anyway. I'm not going to ask him to flex all the way because when I first started training him, he started to kind of hide from the bit a little bit and overly flex and get the pressure out and losing our communication. So I'm trying to teach him to where I want him to maintain pressure on the reins ever so slightly without jerking it, snapping his head back, but also without throwing his head into my foot and thinking that's what I'm wanting. So he almost stepped off right there. I was going to give him a break, but he almost stepped off. So we'll keep going for a second. There he wants to step off again. Not the answer. So we'll just keep doing it until we get the answer that we want. And I'm going to start shaking the reins again. Start kind of flapping my feet. And then we'll wait for the cluck. And this is where we want him to go, just off the cluck. That's exactly what we want right there. And over time. So we want 1% of the time. We're not going to just sit here and wait that this is actually where we're doing our warm-up under saddle. So instead of on the ground, we're going to do this. So he's still magnetized to this west side of the arena, but we're going to use our leg. I'm using a little bit of rein to tip his nose just ever so slightly, but I'm actually using my leg to kind of yield him right there. So this is where we're doing our warm-up. We're going to work on softness and getting him responding to our aids. So this aid is going to be the leg and following his nose or pressure on his mouth. So here's going to be the left leg right here. So I'm just going to very lightly touch his mouth. So I'm touching his mouth right now, but this right here is leg. That's all leg right there. I didn't change my hand. I just wanted to have contact with him to help assist him understand what it is I'm asking. So here's his left rein, and then here's the leg. No change, just all leg right there. Perfect. So now we've got getting soft to our feet and yielding the forequarter. Then we're going to go into yielding the hindquarter. So I'll put my foot back lightly on the left rein, and then now I'm pushing his hind end. So that is yielding the hindquarter. We're not doing it off of their mouth. We want these guys soft on their mouths and responsive. And as long as we're consistent and repetitive, get them redirected. And then let's yield off the hindquarter again. So we're going to put it back and go toward the camera so we can see here. All right, so here's going to be the left foot. Haven't asked for anything, it's just there, I haven't pushed yet. And then no rein, this is going to be just foot. Building the hindquarter, and I want that hind end to step over. This is not more mouth, this is just more foot. Not as much as I'd like, we will get more into that as we go for his warm-up. Now let's do the right side, yielding the forequarter. So light touching his mouth. Just something that I want him to respond to it. Here is his leg. I did have to tip my finger just a little bit, but this here is all leg right there. This is where it should be. So this is ride 12. I think he's right on track where he should be at. Go back to the left, light tip on the finger and the rein, but this is all leg right here. All right, so there's the forequarter, the hindquarter. Then we're going to get what I like to call melting. It's with an M, M-E-L-T-I-N-G, melting. They're still going to stop. I'm not going to draw to a stop with my hands. I'm going to get them to stop completely off of verbal. And then once he stops, then we're going to draw the rein. And we're going to get 1, 2, or 3 steps backward, just depending on where his face is at. And so there's no rein. Whoa. So there's our stop. And then lightly touch his mouth, and we're going to paddle our feet by the front shoulders, and that's going to be melting to the back. Okay, so I'll do another one to the camera because you didn't see that. What I'm looking for is his nose to drop. A lot of people wanted that. The pole, yeah, okay, the pole, but we also, at this stage, want it more at the withers. We want him dropping his neck, but also we want him soft to the poles. You're probably get that. So we'll do it again. Straightened up. I should be getting before you. So no reins. Whoa. And then melting backward. So I'm paddling my feet. There's his nose. I already like that. Still want that 1 or 2 steps back. I'm not going to keep dragging on. This is 1% every day. I'm not going to just give you the depth. I'm going to be demanding. We're going to ask for a lot, but this is the warm-up. The cool down, if I'm going to do some teaching, I'll use the cool down for a lot of that. But right now we're just getting in his mind, getting him responsive, getting him ready for his lesson. So essentially we're just, instead of being on the ground, we're warming him up in the saddle, at the same time getting him soft. And that's going to go yet. We'll wait for him to commit. There's committed. We will wait for the cluck. He needs to learn that. Cluck is going to mean go. Cluck is going to mean trot. And then cluck is also going to be lope faster. Kiss is going to be pick up the canter, but also a lead change. All right, let's test him again. So we're going to flap the reins, shouldn't go anywhere. Flap the legs, still don't want to go anywhere. You should learn that the cluck means go. It's exactly how we want it right there. Still warming them up. All right, now let's yield behind to the right side. So here's my foot, ever so softly. I'm going to hold it there because I want him to understand that I'm not asking yet. I don't want him reactive to my foot. Now here's the ask. So yield behind. Yield behind. Yeah, there it is. Now let's keep it in front. And there's softness. Perfect. Exactly what we want. All right, let's start the lesson plan with him. So to start off with, we're going to walk the perimeter. Normally I would do 1 or 2 laps, and this is a video, and I'm going to try to keep it kind of short, so I will edit some of this out. If we do 1 lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, whatever, I'm just going to kind of show you what we're doing with him. Again, this is ride number 12. Getting in the saddle. No warm up, no flexion, no backing, just none of that. Just in the arena, saddle them up, get on, begin your warm up under saddle. We gotta wean off of this warming the horse up till they're 10 years old. Like, enough of that. There's old Seymour, neighbor's horse. Right, so just had a walk. Want him to stop verbally. Melt. There's his face, perfect. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, take it. Alright, now we're not going to go until I clap. Let's test him. Let's flap, no. 1 step. Oh, perfect. See? This is why we let him commit. We wait for them to take that 2nd, 3rd, or 4th step because we want to test him. Give him the chance to make the right decision. Don't babysit. Don't hover over these guys. We don't want to be like a helicopter mom that just hangs over the kids and makes their every decision for them and never having to be accountable for their thoughts or actions. Alright, here comes the clock. That's not what we wanted, and he's committed. Alright, so now we hold him accountable. This is 12th ride. I don't expect this horse to be perfect. This guy's got 22, 25, 30 years left in his life. Accountability starts now. Again, I'm not going to overly flex him. I know a lot of people watching the video are going to be like, oh, he's not making him flex all the way. This horse already has a problem with over-reflection, hiding from the bit. I'm maintaining contact, and I'm teaching him to stay on it. We've done a lot of part of kind of just driving him into the bit. Even just for ride number 12, that's pretty early, but it was needed. All right, let's test him. I feel a little bit of a forward lean. Glad he didn't take the bait on it. Now off of the cluck is where I want him to go. Perfect. All right, let's direct him. All right, normally I would do 1, 2, 3 laps. At least 1 lap in each direction. Perfect, and then key hold his shoulder, push him over. Alright, let's get a verbal stop. Top reins. Whoa. Let's make him melt. His nose, perfect. And back up. 1 step. 2 step, and 3 step, perfect. This is ride number 12. We're not trying to draw this horse to a stop. Let's let him commit. He's committed. And there's accountability. Alright, let's yield his hind. Up to the fence. Try that again. Whoa. Melt. I'm really not pulling very much. That's him trying Here's his test. And then here's his command. We're going to take this corner and then we're going to yield the hindquarters and do a keyhole on the shoulder. Alright, so there's our leg. We're yielding the hind. So we're going to shift this foot over a little bit. And then here's the command. And keyhole the shoulder and push them around. Nice, okay. Alright, let's get to a trot. Shoulder. Perfect. Let's get him to a trot. Alright, then I'm going to start getting, he's starting to push on my leg a little bit, so I'm going to get right into doing some post and circling. Because see how he's pushing on my right leg. So we're going to do 2, 3, 4. Whenever he starts pushing my leg, we're going to do more of these. Very nice corner. Just giving his mouth. So I'm pushing with my left leg. You see him kind of arcing into it. Here, just pushing on my leg again. do his thing. He knows what to do. You need to babysit these guys. That's when you start having to babysit these birds just out tight. It's nice loose rain. Got enough rain that I can pick on when I need them. Twist my leg. So we're just gonna do one circle now. Get back and twist my leg. Babysitting. So there's no rain. Whoa. No rain. No. Video. Let's pick up to the left. So let's test him. Flapping our legs. Perfect. Alright, let's get to the left. Let's get him lined out first. It's nice when he lands in the correct lead. Right now, I just want him to go. Picking on leads is not the stage, not the ride flow. Just pushing on my leg. Pushing on my legs. Comes off my leg. I'll come off with his mouth. 2, 3. Hold him accountable. He made the choice. We just gotta wait for him to commit to it. Let's go. All right, let's get up to the low. Okay, what lead he goes into. Go do some trotting exercises. Let's do a little bit of post and circle. So I'm teaching them to go straight. Get up to the trot. So I'm going to ride straight toward Seymour. And I'm going to lightly guide him with my hands. But if he really pushes, I'm here to pull my bit. And we're going to do a change of direction to a little bit of an opposite game. So here he is, nice and true. Oh, if he makes it to the end, oh, he gets to take a break. Good job. It's only gonna last 2 or 3 seconds. There we go. Now let's right to the camera. So this will give you a good idea of what we're doing here. So pick up to the trot, and then direct him, and lock him into the camera. So you should be able to see where his butt's kind of leading out, or if he's pulling on the rein. Minimum effort to keep them true. So now he's trying to dump left a little bit. Whoa. And back. Give him 3 seconds. 1, 2, and 3. We're going to go. Alright, let's go back to Seymour so we have a straight line from the camera. True. You see his leaning right, left. So there's one right again. All right, so that was okay. We're gonna keep going. Right, push to my left leg. banners. All right, going right. More. Good job. All right, we're making this a short one. Let's get into his cool down. So in the cool down, I'm going to do a lot of keyholes, which is the goal to just let him catch his breath, but also keep him honest and soft. So normally when I do my cool downs, I'll work on making him soft a little bit, and then I'll just kind of set him loose and let him go where he wants. Maybe just check my emails and play on my phone while he's just walking around cooling off, but that's usually about a 5-minute process. So here's a keyhole. Just getting him soft on my legs, trying to use as little bit of hands as possible. So we'll yield his hind with my right leg. So place the leg, shouldn't mean anything. Now if I press, now here's the left shoulder, yielding his shoulder off. There's our keyhole. Now we'll do it the other way. So here's the left leg, shouldn't mean anything. Now we're pushing. And then here's my right leg on the shoulder. And here's the keyhole. And then straight. This is just, like I said, we're not ready to start picking on his leads yet, but that will really help when we do decide to pick on his lead, that he's used to just having our legs place places on his body without overreacting and getting hot. Like if I wanted to ask for a left lead, I can put my leg on his left rib, my leg on his right hind, and he just kind of ignores it. But if I wanted to kick him up, then he's not overreacting to it. Trying to get him used to being touched. Whoa. Back. Without overreacting. Alright, back to the cool down. Didn't ask for it, didn't cluck. He hasn't committed. Good boy. Every time he does something wrong, that's not productive. You're going to teach him to just be nervous all the time to do something wrong. If you just give him time to think, then he has the opportunity to decide what's right, and in the end, that is going to help us out faster, because then we have a bit of a thinking horse and not creating a reactive horse. So we're just doing a little bit of wandering, staring. I'm not really telling him where to go. This is where I would just be on my phone. Just kind of let him do his own thing. Every once in a while, I mean, I can throw that in there to just let him do what he wants, but every once in a while I can toss a shoulder and yield in there with no rein. You know, just this is what we're talking about, being soft. Like, we're directing this horse with just our feet. And if I wanted to push it the other way, without any rein, this is all leg. Leg. You're just pushing against it. This is why we do this. Good. So just let him have his face. Here's no rein. So going to the left. Here's right leg. Stop. No rein. Good. You want to yield his hind end? That's no rein. That's all leg. Now go straight. Whoa, let's see if we can get him back. back, no, backwards, back, just get out of his mouth, ask for it, just keep asking. So this is where we're teaching the horse to go off of our legs, no, back, so back, off with just leg and no hands. That is very new for him. But he's catching on to it already. I mean, he's already got the point of it with yielding the forequarter and the hindquarter. Just nudge at it 1% every day. Alright, let's get some mindless movement. I like to do this move just because it takes away the factor that if they're ever just kind of left to make decisions on their own, they don't panic and get stressed out. They've been in that position before. It's kind of like being on a trail ride. You know, that's what you're prepping for. You know, if you're on your very first trail ride and you cut them loose on the rein, then they start jigging and getting antsy because they've never been in that position to make decisions before. So I'm going to be able to just cut that horse loose on the trail ride and let him think about following the trail or following the other horse without me having to be in his mouth the entire time. So here's a stop without any rein. Whoa. Back. 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 Good. Alright, I think that's good to show where he's at on day 12. We got on him and no warm up at all. Straight out of the stall, straight in the saddle, and just straight to work. So good boy, Scandal. We'll loosen him up. I don't know if work is done. Alright, let's go get some peppermints. Good boy. There you go. There's Scandal, ride number 12.